Hi, my name's Rod Walker from Full Tilt Entertainment and the Horse Lords. Horse Lords recreates ancient writing, so Greek, Scythian, we're doing Roman auxiliary cavalry from the 1st century AD as well. But what I'm here for is to talk about a sword I've recently purchased. Now, I've never done a sword review before, so this could be a little bit erratic. I've been looking for a kopis, a 4th century, 5th century kopis for a while now, and I came across Purna Darnal, and I apologise if I mangle anybody's names in this, from the Great Gurkha Khukuri company. I came across him on the Sword Buyer's Guide forum, and I ended up contacting him and placing an order. Purna was amazing to deal with, very professional, and I was very lucky in that Valerio Zal, again I apologise if I mangled your name, had ordered a 4th century BC kopis just before me, and Valerio had done all the research already. He had contacted, I believe, the MACM Museum, and the curator there, Victoria Delgado, helped him out and gave him some measurements and some weights on an existing kopis there. The one that Valerio had copied had a 65 centimetre blade. The one I've had copied has a 75 centimetre long blade. The original that I was looking at, which was found in Bulgaria, so using the Thracian context I would imagine, had a 78 centimetre blade. I decided to go 75 just from pure preference, personal preference. Now, this is it here. This is what the one. Now, this has a 75 centimetre blade. Its total weight is 915 grams, and the point of balance is right about here. It's about 14-15 centimetres in front of the hilt. For me, it's slightly point heavy, but it's a very fast, light blade, really. And you'll see when I cut with it later just how well it handles. Purna has done an amazing job. I thought these blades would be stock removal, but he actually forged them out. And here you can see the video of him forging it out. Not expecting that. He forged the blade out, and then he also sent me videos of it being tempered, which you can see right here. Now, Purna was amazing, as I said, to deal with. He kept me updated the entire time. He sent photos and the videos which you just saw. And the most amazing thing is that I ordered this on the 5th of April. I ordered and paid for it on the 5th of April, and it was in my hands on the 5th of May. That's 4 weeks. 4 weeks to have a forged blade made and sent from Nepal to Australia. For me, that's incredible. Just that you can do that, and Purna just does it all the time. He consistently makes these blades and gets them out to people. This is now this was the first one in Australia, and now there's already 2 more that have been ordered in Australia. So yeah, I highly recommend Purna. So onto the blade itself. It's a beautiful bit of gear. It has a very thick spine and a very pronounced distal taper. I think the spine is about 8 millimetres, and it's down to 2 millimetres, 2 and a bit millimetres about here. And it's a very pronounced distal taper, very sharp. Purna is renowned for making sharp blades. So we have a bit of paper and sword. It's a very sharp sword, as you will again see when I cut with it later. There's no drag, there's no tearing, that's just cutting the paper effortlessly. So I'll bring the camera over and we'll have a bit of a closer look at it. Now, I apologise for the glare and the shadows. I am filming this outside. So here it is here. Now here's the hilt. So let's have a closer look at this hilt. and let's compare that to the original. So he's done a very good job of recreating the hilt. Let's have a bit of a closer look here at the spine. Now, it's a very thick spine, as I said. It's 8mm, I think. I'll have to check that. Again, this is based on the research that Valerio did. It tapers down. Nice distal taper. I'm not sure if you can make out the hollow grind on the blade. Hopefully you can see that. Now, what also came with it is the scabbard, right here. Now, this is a wood cord covered in leather. I have stripped the original red dye as best I could off, and I tried to re-dye it a darker colour. Here you can see the original scabbard. And hopefully you can see here that I've tried to weather it and darken it up a little bit. And I changed the position for the rings to suspend it. I made the baldric. Now, this is a really nicely made scabbard. So what I want to show you is how the blade actually fits in, and a really nice feature that he has included on this scabbard. Alright, so here we have the scabbard. Now, one thing it does is, when the blade goes in, and it fits perfectly, about the last 10-15mm, if you give it a push, you'll hear that click sound. I don't know how he's done it, but he's formed the wood inside there so that it actually locks the blade in. It actually locks the blade so it doesn't bounce around and it won't come out of the scabbard. And then it's just a matter of click. Blade comes out, again. And that's all the fit of the timber. That's how he's made the scabbard. The scabbard's really nice. I could not have made a scabbard like that. He's again done a really nice job. Another thing I did want to show here was that, of course, the blade itself has a distal taper, as you would expect, but that also continues. So you can see the spine of the blade running through the hilt. It's actually forged out as well. It has a taper as well. It's not just a great slab of metal. He's actually tapered that out to fit the pommel and the hilt scales. Just a little attention to detail like that. The hilt itself is beautifully formed. It fits my hand perfectly. I did have some discussions with Purna about this because these are meant to be a very tight fit on the hand. They're not to be meant. There's not meant to be a lot of room between here and here. And when you look at them, you would think, oh well, no, that's far too small to fit a hand in. So my hand is about 10.5 centimetres, I think, across the palm. This measures just under 9 centimetres. And of course, there's a little horse head there that protrudes a little bit, but it fits my hand beautifully, very nicely. I actually like to use the blade with my thumb on top. I don't know if that's how to use it, but that's how I like to cut with it. And I will be doing some cutting from horseback with this, because of course I am a cavalry reenactor, so I will be cutting from horseback with this. So one thing I've noticed when I've been looking around researching copises is people always asking, can you thrust with them? And I mean, it's a pretty straight blade, really. The point is in line with your hand, and of course you can thrust. Of course you can thrust with it. And it feels just like thrusting with any other sword. Just because it has a slight bend, it doesn't feel like it wants to dive or anything like that. You can thrust with it. So we're going to do some test cutting now on horseback, because it is cavalry. Just a little bit about the equipment we're using on Athos here. So he's got a reproduction, and he really wants to eat. He's got a reproduction Scythian bit on. This is based on a couple of bits, including one of my collection, which you can see here. Reproduction Scythian bridle. And at the moment we're using a pad saddle. So it's just a pad. There are Scythian type pad saddles, and I will get around to making one of those hopefully in the next couple of months. But for now, we're just using this sort of generic ancient pad saddle. Alright, let's go do it. really is a beautiful sword. That was effortless, really effortless. It is quite scary to be using a blade this sharp on a horse, but I mean, we have been doing this for about 25 years, and I've cut a lot of stuff off horseback. But yeah, it is such a beautiful blade. So let's do some more, shall we?